the Righteous Persons Foundation, and the Charles H. Revson Foundation. Additional funding is provided by the Rowe Foundation and the Joseph Meyerhoff Fund.
Hi, I'm Adam Sandler, and I went to New York University, and I studied with a teacher by the name of Liz Swados. So if you are a fan of my acting, just know I worked very hard on my craft. And if you're not a fan of my acting, you can blame Liz, because she's the one who told me to do it that way. Now, recently, Liz sent me a copy of a musical theater piece that you're about to see. And she wrote it and directed it and put together a cast of young actors that are amazing. And they really go out on a limb to get a message across. It's called TheHatingPot. And when I saw it, I really wanted other people to see it. It's very strong and moving, and most importantly, it shows how dumb and destructive racism can be.
I'm about to make a disclaimer. Do you know what a disclaimer is? It's like when some actor gets on TV and says, "I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV." Or when you see a Jeep sold on TV for $7,953. And then these tiny words come on the bottom of the screen. Only January 2nd, 1972 through January 3rd, 1972. But anyway, here's my disclaimer. A lot of what we're going to say to you might shock you. So just remember, we're only actors playing really disgusting people. And sometimes nice people. But anyway.
Don't be sad if we offend you. We intend to offend anyone we can. We are sure you will recover. Better that you were discussed by us. Then turned up by each other. Don't be sad if we offend you. We intend to offend anyone we can.
We are now quiet. We are going to sing a Yiddish song that children sang in the Warsaw Ghetto before the Nazis shot them.
We're going to sing now. If you don't like the music, you're not going to shoot me in the back, are you? You see, if you're a certain race or religion, you can get killed for a song. I'm not kidding.
Heute fliegt der Chick, brennt der Feuer auf, und der Stub ist heiß. Und der Rebbe lernt als kleine Kinder lacht, der Walle Face. Und der Rebbe lernt als kleine Kinder lacht, der Walle Face. Solche Kinder lacht, welche Teile was ihr lernt doch. Solche noch amor, solche noch amor, come sale po. Solche noch amor, solche noch amor, come sale po.
I'm singing this song in Yiddish, which I don't even speak, talking about Jewish things, and I'm not a Jew. But I'm cool with that, see? I don't mind because I'm into the concept of universality. What I mean by this is that at some place, at some time, however long ago it might have been, someone who is related to you had to be related to, or at least know someone related to me. Everybody from that time on got it all messed up, got all full of themselves, all righteous and fanatic. But we did all start at the same place in the race. So there's as much of me and you as there is you and me. So just live with it, sucker.
Okay, so thousands of years ago, a new people came to the Egyptian land. They were the Jewish people, and they were different. It was a really long time ago, so Jews had really dark skin. I mean, Jews have to face it, and African Americans have to face it. Jews were blacks, and blacks were Jews. Well, these Jewish people, they were different from the Egyptians. They wore their hair different, they wore their clothes different, their spices smelled weird, they talked funny. They were strangers. So those Egyptians had to make the Jewish people slaves. And everybody knows what a popular idea slavery was. I mean, those stupid people were so excited. They started doing it all over the world.
Avadim Hainu, Avadim Hainu, Avadim Hainu, Avadim Hainu.
Like the waters of Babylon, there we sat down and wept. There we sat down and wept. When we remembered Zion, on the willows there we hung up our lives. For there are captors required of us songs, and our tormentors heard. Say, sing us one of those songs of Zion. 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 By the waters of Babylon, there we sat down and wept. There we sat down and wept when we remembered Zion.
I started The Hating Pot because, as a Jew, I was extremely upset with what was going on between blacks and Jews. And I thought that this tension and kind of new alienation was a metaphor for what was going on everywhere, with everyone. And I wanted to create a show that would talk about what all these tensions were or what were the roots of them. So I went around to all kinds of schools and all kinds of kids, and I found untrained kids who don't do theater, who came and did a workshop with me, and out of that workshop came the show. And the workshop was improvisations, was spur-of-the-moment singing, dancing, making scenes about being bigots or being attacked by a bigot, or what did it feel like, where did it come from. And we worked in a synagogue on 23rd Street, which was an Orthodox synagogue, and it was really, the whole thing was really an adventure.
Let me tell you how I got here. Some weird lady, she comes into my homeroom and says, anybody interested in the singing gig? It's about anti-Semitism, racism, and skinheads and stuff. So I think to myself, what kind of songs can you possibly sing about that? But I raised my hand anyway, you know, to get out of class. So a week later, I'm on 23rd Street, and I'm looking for this address. And guess what? It's this weird little Orthodox synagogue. And there's this man with a beard and a yarmulke standing at the door. Now, I would have turned around right there, but then I seen a mob of kids with every win that you could imagine. Seemed like they were all there to audition. So I figured either there's gonna be a race riot or something miraculous was gonna happen. So I decided to stick around.
You know, so we start rehearsing. So learning music, we're doing aerobics, and then we're chanting these foreign rap syllables. And then there are these directors. Stupid directors. I mean, the director goes, hey, you know, we're bringing up bigot. Bring in a bigot? What am I supposed to do? You know, go to Broadway and say, oh, hey, if you're prejudiced, you know, come with me. But no, you're supposed to study different types. Learn how to become them, as if this messed up world wasn't racist enough.
Let's tell the truth.
Yes.
The Jews run the game.
Yes.
Why are all these blacks
Yes.
always screaming for rights?
Yes.
Every time we get beat.
Yes.
And at the ethnic's end.
Yes.
We know what's pure.
Yes.
We know what's right.
Yes.
Let's tell the truth.
Yes.
The Jews run the game.
Yes.
They got the money and power.
Yes.
They own the big names.
Yes.
They're so much animals.
Yes.
The media they claim.
Yes.
They wire all they got. But they always have the rights. The judge said the truth.
No one wants God. They know what's right.
Bigot. Everybody's a bigot. Can you dig it? Everybody hates somebody. Everybody's a bigot. Everybody hates somebody.
Here's my bigot. Look carefully at the face of the enemy. The lips are curved unattractively downwards. The eyes are stupid and far away. Doesn't the flesh look like it is molded in the shape of a monster? This kind of man never laughs. He is never torn by doubt. He doesn't feel tenderness or pain. Clearly, he is unlike us. We do not need to feel sympathy or guilt when we destroy him. The world will be better off without him!
Bigot. Everybody's a bigot. Can you dig it? Everybody hates somebody.
Here's my bigot. So, you know, I go up to my
grandmother and say, hey, Grandma, can I talk to you about something? About what? She says. Jews, I say, oh, my God, you're not going to marry a Jewish girl. She says, I would kill you if you marry a Jewish girl, and then I would kill myself. I mean, everyone at the church will talk. I wouldn't even be invited to bingo anymore. Grandma, I'm not going to marry a Jewish girl, I tried to tell her. The Jews killed Christ. You remember them. They killed Christ. And if they kill Christ, they will do anything. They will sacrifice your firstborn on the Sabbath, and then I will lose my grandson to a carving knife, and then they will drink the blood. Grandma! Where do you get such ideas? I don't get them. I know them. Everyone knows. Now come here and kiss me. You are my brilliant, handsome prince. I love you.
Bigot, everybody's a bigot. Can you dig it? Everybody hates somebody.
Here's my bigot. I'm sorry, you are not going out with one of them. No, you're not even going to hang out with one of them. I'm sure they're very nice people, but that's just not what we do. Why? You shouldn't even have to ask why. It's got nothing to do with them as a people. It's just that we shouldn't mix. We can't afford to mix, to intermarry. We'll be lost forever. We'll disappear. The way a community perishes is to send its children out into the world. No, you are not even to talk to them. Don't even look at them. Look away. Look down at your shoes.
Bigot, everybody's a bigot. Can you dig it? Everybody hates somebody.
Here's my bigot. Okay, they were slaves, so that's my fault? I'm supposed to take a taxi to Harlem, get out at 125th Street, stand in the middle of the street, and say, hey, you colored people, Negroes, Afro-Americans, watch me. I'm sorry, okay? I mean, all right, so some people in the South weren't so polite a while back. Does that mean that dark-skinned folks should get jobs that my cousin's daughter, Francine, God bless her soul, is more qualified for? This is a good country. There's something for everybody. But you gotta have a positive attitude. All this whining and complaining and bellyaching, digging up old grudges from the past, is just pretty wimpy if you ask me. Everybody's out there bragging about their scars, trying to get even for stuff that happened to them when they wasn't even born. Stop bugging me.
Bigot, everybody's a bigot. Can you dig it? Everybody hates somebody.
Here's my bigot. The problem with these black people is they're angry. I don't know any other race of people that commit so much violence. They should be ashamed.
Bigot, everybody's a bigot. Can you dig it? Everybody hates somebody.
Here's my bigot. They have taken over Hollywood, the corporations, the banks, and they are trying to take over the government. They are the filthiest kinds of thieves.
Bigot, everybody's a bigot. Can you dig it? Everybody hates somebody. Everybody's a bigot. Can you dig it? Everybody hates somebody. Everybody's a bigot.
Sean's monologue is talking about the Jews, but he doesn't mention the Jews. Kind of like a Farrakhan speech, saying how the Jews want to take everything over. So when I saw them clapping and like applauding and agreeing with it, I guess I was angry and nervous and scared because I figured, well, you know, they believe it.
The bigot improvisations were tough ones because we had to go through, we were there for months, we were in rehearsal, in workshops for months, and we had to go through all these little scenes where you actually have to say racist things about yourself or about other people, and we played all kinds of games to bring these different aspects of the racism out.
You know, we had to learn how to deliver these views as if we really believe them, as if they were our own.
Portraying other people and breaking that barrier helped us to be racist, in other words, so that we could show that if we couldn't talk about it, it couldn't be dealt with. And once we began to talk about it, it was something we could show others how ugly it looks, you know, and we could all see from other people how disgusting it looked, and we learned a lot from each other.
You're getting to vent all the frustrations and everything you've experienced, like discrimination and stuff, and things you encounter. So like that felt good to just like let it out, to be able to do it, to show somebody if they've never seen, you know, like what it's like when a white woman is just afraid of a black guy for no reason.
My whole monologue about you're not going to go out with one of them. I grew up that way. You are not to date anybody that's not Jewish. And my family wasn't as fanatical as the second part of the monologue about look away, don't even talk to them. But we couldn't go to the proms. I mean, there were 3 Jewish girls my age in Lincoln. I didn't like any of them, so it was, went bowling.
So now we're singing this African song. One of the black kids taught it to us, and Michael, the piano player, put Hebrew chords underneath it. And I really do think that's cool. But I'm worried that if I hang out here, it won't do anything to improve my grade average, which is all anybody looks at now. I mean, it's just too competitive. Social issues won't get me high SAT scores, internships, or job opportunities. And the stuff that happened to my grandparents, well, I hurt for them, of course I do. But I can't live my life in the past, can I? And anyway, all of my ancestors were supposed to have gone through hell so that none of the tortures and the murders could ever happen again. I mean, wasn't this world made safer for me? None of that fascist stuff is ever going to happen again.
On the other hand, we all get caught up with our school and our jobs, and we forget what our ancestors taught us. We could be in for a really big surprise. You never know what's growing underneath those rocks. Do you?
I don't know you. And you're sitting right there at the corner of my square. I mean, I could just let you sit there. I mean, you're not hurting anybody, but pretty soon one of your friends will join you, and then there'll be two of you sitting at the corner of my square. And then more friends, and your family join you, and your cousins start having babies, and your uncles start building shelters right there at the corner of my square. And I don't like the way you keep looking at me. You want to move my square, don't you? So you will have to get rid of me, so one day you will send your mother after me to do away with me, so that everything that was mine will be yours. That's why I cannot let you sit there at the corner of my square. Violence is the only answer. We must sacrifice all foreign intruders. This is a surgical operation commanded by God, the all-powerful.
Are you ready? Put your hands together for the hottest man anywhere. Public opinion!
We are right. We are done. And we will not endure any foreign invasion. We are strong. We are clean. They are wrong and we mean to keep the foreign smell out of our garden. They are sick. What's the word? They carry foreign germs and we will not endure any foreign invasion. We will not endure any foreign invasion. Foreign invasion. Foreign invasion.
See? When I go to school, I have to wear a skirt that covers my knees, a high-collared shirt, and my arms have to be covered too. And every day, these guys, they follow me in this old beat-up car with these blonde bleached-up girls with them. And they say, hey, Jew girl, you're going to your temple, you're going to your concentration camp. It's your boyfriend, one of those guys with the curls in the bathroom. Hey, how come we know people who died, Jew girl? And I just keep walking. I mean, I could care less. It does not bother me. Not a bit. I'm proud of who I am. No one can hurt me.
I heard a rumor that you and all your people, every night at sundown with colored beads and candles, do some really strange things to children, dogs, and geese. And I heard a rumor that you, underneath that long t-shirt, have 12 ugly birthmarks. And if you play connect the dots to them, they make the shape of something really gross. And I heard a rumor that you and all your people drink a really strange cocktail made of baby's blood, chicken beaks, and human sweat, called a really ugly Bloody Mary. And I heard a rumor that you and all your people are born addicted to money, and that your children's toys are made of dollar bills and coin. And I heard a rumor that they all did something, and they're all gonna get it for whatever they did.
I heard a rumor that you don't know any facts. All you hear is rumors, and all you tell is rumors. You get people all worked up, but it's all a show. All you know is rumors. You never bother to find out the facts. You should try it sometime.
What you see, look at me. When you look at me, it's what you want.
It's what you want.
It's me to be. Yeah, I'm black. She is African American. Therefore, you
Typical of you.
think that I'm a welfare.
Living up the system.
And my rent is overdue.
And I'm an attitude.
You don't know heads from tail. You're a white uptight man. You don't know heads from tail. You're a white uptight man. You don't know heads from tail. You're a white uptight man.
You search your stuff, sharp as a knife. Give it up, get a life.
You are blind. advice, I'll give you some. Keep your opinions to yourself, man. Keep your history of me on the shelf, man. You don't know the real facts, man. And you might, right? Get them out of sight. Causes in the night, hoping for a fight. Get the blacks, we are not things that can act. We are not get the blacks, we are not what can act. Get the blacks, what it acts. Get the blacks, what it acts. I'm telling you, it's not right. No!
When I first started working on this show, when we talked about our own prejudices, it sort of made me realize one thing. At first, I realized that all the black people were the ones who had the hardest time talking about black people. It's like the Jews talk about Jews, the Asians talk about, but black people, we just couldn't say anything. And so then I realized this, I said to myself, you know, maybe I have more prejudice in me than I'm even aware of. You know, because I'm evading the issue. Oh no, not me, I'm not prejudiced. And you know, and then the more I learned about Jews, the more I found out that I don't know really about a lot of things at all.
I knew that other races existed, but not in my world, you know, because my world was Jewish. Because I go to a Jewish school and I live in a Jewish neighborhood, and my friends are all Jewish, and at my camp, Jewish. So, you know, it's like, whoa, like all of a sudden, and the first person I meet is Sean. And he's like 6'3", and he's black. And I was like, oh, well, I think I slashed, and I was nervous, not because he was black. Yes, because he was black, and he was the first black person I've actually ever said hi to, and like he shook out his hand, and I was very hesitant, you know. And I was like, yeah, hi. And I don't think I even like put out my hand at the beginning. I kind of like waved, or I even might have taken a step back. I don't recall, but like it was a whole different world.
When I grew up, I mean, Jew was a slang word. When I grew up, Jew meant to cheat somebody out of money. You know what I mean? That's the way we grew up, you know? And it's like, oh, you're gonna go down to the store? Yeah, we're gonna try to Jew them out of some food. You know, so when I met real live Jews who went through a struggle, who were people, and this, I mean, of course in school we didn't even learn about slavery, nonetheless about the Holocaust. So that was like a whole new thing for me. And, you know, it's like, you know, people struggled. I mean, people, you learn these stories, and it's a beautiful thing. It really helped me, actually helped me be more proud of who I am. You know, just knowing what other people have gone through, and then I can say to myself, yeah, I'm black, I'm proud, you know?
My high school was almost all Jewish, and I never encountered people who, well, I've encountered people who weren't Jewish, but I never encountered people who had never seen a Jew, certainly. And for the first time in my life, I mean, I always took pride in my religion, but I really became proud of being a Jew. And when we, one day in rehearsal, did Hanukkah, and we were explaining to the non-Jewish members of the cast what Hanukkah was about and what the ceremonies were, I felt proud to be a part of the religion and to really be able to explain it and have people take part in it.
Like a lot of people in the group thought that I was racist, and they used to tell me, oh, Sophia, watch what you say, this and that, because there's a guy in the show named Jeff, and he used to say, hey, black girl, and I'd say, hi, Jew boy, and it was a little personal thing, a personal joke between us two. Everybody, like, it started, like, going on from there, and everybody was like, how I should watch what I say, and this and that. But I'm not racist, because, I mean, I have prejudices just like everybody else. You know, about Jews, that they're, you know.
War is a blessing for the world and for all nations. It is God who incites men to fight and to kill.
We must murder the Jews in the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ.
The Quran says fight until corruption and all rebellion has ceased.
We must guard against the non-believer that would threaten our holy Torah.
War until victory. A religion without war is a religion without God.
Let's get this straight. God told this one, and God told that one. All these religions acting like they've got the word of God. Special delivery, Federal Express, chopping each other's heads off, stabbing each other, blowing themselves and each other to smithereens. All because God absolutely, positively said, do it. We got the Jews, Roman Catholics, Presbyterians, Episcopalians, Greek Orthodox, Russian Orthodox, Buddhists, Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Shiravis, Tutsis, Taoists. Look, all I'm saying is, if zillions and zillions of people got the word to kill each other, personally from God, then something's up, right? Either God is trying to set all his children against each other like one humongous practical joke, or somebody's lying about what God told them. Or you know what? Maybe they didn't even hear him right. Do you guys think we can lighten up for a change?
Okay, Kizzy.
My dad was watching TV, the 6 o'clock news. Subway killers, crooked politicians, wars and famine too. Lots more drive-by shootings, no suspects and no clues. Drugs, bombs, cartels, bombs, torture in plain view. My dad turned off the TV and he leaned in close to me. What do you learn in school today? I told him history. You know, wars, assassinations, bloody coups and treachery. Let me tell you something else my father said to me.
There are good, smart people in this world. There always was and always gonna be. Simple folks without great names who just won't play the bargains. Good, smart people living righteously.
Don't have to be a big shot to do the decent thing. Show kindness to a stranger and see what joy you bring. Stand up for people's rights. Lead someone from the dark to light. Don't think about it, do the decent thing.
There are good, smart people in this world. There always was and always gonna be. Simple folks without big names who just won't play the bargains. Good, smart people living righteously.
Evil skills spotlight wins the fame. If we draw my name, violence right away. Let's try to tell more stories of the sinful humanity that help forgotten families and set prisons free.
There are good, smart people in this world. There always was and always gonna be. Simple folks without big names who just won't play the bargains. Good, smart people living righteously.
Hey, people! Stop this! Immediately!
I guess good times don't last forever, huh?
There is only one way to drink a cup of water. One way. And we know what that is. And we know we're right. Because our fathers and mothers drank this way. And their fathers and mothers too. We keep our lips at the edge of the cup. We do not rest our teeth against the rim. And we know if we see teeth marks on the cup, that you are not one of us. There is only one way to drink a cup of water, do you understand me? One way! Break that rule, then rules mean nothing! Once one rule is broken, they're all broken, and the untamed monsters of Satan will take over our world! Line up! Line up!
You got to dress like us. You got to walk like us. You got to talk like us. You got to act like a mirror. You got to laugh when we laugh. You got to hate who we hate. And don't you mix with the others. You got to choose and separate. When we're in a line, like soldiers we will be. None will break our wall of unity. When we're in a line, like soldiers we will be. None will break our wall of unity. And his choices on his own, says on his own, yeah. Says he can't be watching what on. I can tell you that he's not gonna find what he sees. Creativity is weak. Rebellion is wrong. She will not live very long. No, she won't. When we're in a line, like soldiers we will be. None will break our wall of unity. When we're in a line, like soldiers we will be. None will break our wall of unity.
When we first started the piece, the 3 white girls were sitting in one row and the 3 black girls in another row, and it was difficult to, like, you know, separate us. And little by little, like, we would set up our chairs, like, I think it was as was Danica and someone else, like the three of us would sit in the front, and Kizzy and Shantae and Sophia were sitting behind us, and little by little we would like turn and start socializing, and then it all got mixed up. But in the beginning it was really, I mean, you really clung to your race.
When I first met Marcus, who's Austrian, I was like, well, you know, my family was from Austria, and like the Nazis killed him, and I was very like, no, like I'm not gonna work with you. And well, now we're friends, but I was a little bit on edge working with him.
I think for me the most important thing about this show was that, and I didn't even realize this at the beginning, I realized it a couple of weeks ago, that I was really there with all these Jewish people and dancing between Daniel and Ilan and stuff, and I didn't even notice that while sort of we worked on that, but all of a sudden I said, well, I'm actually in the midst of all these people, and my grandparents tried to sort of kill all of them. It was really something that was very emotional for me.
Yes, sir! Seid ihr verrückt geworden? Seid ihr wahnsinnig geworden? Yes, sir! Seid umgebracht, abgeköpft, umgebracht! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Yes! Kill the Jews! Burn the blacks! Kill them all!
You killed Christ. Him and his people killed Christ. You have horns and hooves, and my father says that you're the devil with the bankroll.
Don't do that. It's bad for you.
There's a boy who's afraid and he doesn't want to say that he doesn't know what to do. And he stumbles around and he trips on the ground. He's gonna blame his fall on you. And he's scared that the small world he has is too easy to take from him. And he's scared that the wall that he's built all around him is glass, so it's going to break on him.
So he's gonna put you down. He's gonna do a number on your pride. He's gonna tear you down and make you smaller than he feels inside.
Fear makes him strut the way he does. Fear makes him stand by the wall.
His game is to act like he knows all the facts, but he doesn't know a thing at all. If he holds a mirror up to you, he doesn't have to look at himself. And his words are full of attitude. He says he's going to heaven and you to hell. So he's gonna put you down. He's gonna do a number on your pride. He's gonna tear you down and make you smaller than he feels inside. Don't let him put you down. No one like that can hurt your pride. Just keep your vision clear. And remember, he's the one who's lost inside. He's the one who's lost inside. He's the one who's lost inside.
I mean, what is hate? Hate, the word. What does it mean? The feeling is, how do you describe it exactly? When I hate something, my thoughts start racing and my eyes get hot as if I'm gonna cry. But I don't. The insides of my ears itch, my palms get sweaty, I clench my teeth, I kick things, doors and chairs and stuff. What do you hate? Why do you hate? It's not the same as seriously dislike or can't stand. It's not even the same thing as repulse or loathe. Hate is different. It even sounds different. Hate. It sounds like a guillotine. Hate. Like marching boots. Hate. Like a switchblade. Hate. Like a fist through a wall. Hate. Like the ammunition shooting an assault weapon. Hate. 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 It's almost like a crime to throw its
It's hard to believe, but hate sounds like it comes from hurt. Muslims want to separate blacks from whites in their rights.
Skinheads act the way they do because blacks get away with crime.
The Asians are buying everything. The Koreans work really hard to survive in New York.
That black guy carries a beeper. He must sell drugs.
That black guy carries a beeper. He must be a doctor.
An all-white America would be safe and clean.
And all-white America is not American.
The Catholic Church is run by perverts.
Many European Catholics risk their lives for Jews and gypsies.
My mother's tailor drives a Mercedes. Guess what? He's a Jew.
You know that was a story about a KKK leader who became best friends with a rabbi? Isn't that cool?
You know, this totally nerdy kid got a 1550 on his SATs. Of course he's Oriental.
I saw this Puerto Rican woman with all these kids. She must be on welfare.
I just met a Hispanic girl. They're so warm. They treat you like family. I admire the spirit of Jews. They're so resilient.
This is no longer a melting pot, it's a hating pot.
I wish more people were as family-oriented as the Asians.
All white people are racist.
The first time I came here was the first time I ever shook a black guy's hand. And it wasn't any different.
You know, what's going on here? I don't know what to think. I mean, one minute we're treating everyone equal, and then we're screaming all this crap at each other. It's really confusing. So many voices, all those opinions. What can I believe? What can I believe? So many experts, so many answers. What can I believe? What can I believe? Who knows the story? Who knows the real thing? What can I believe? What can I believe? And so much passion and so much violence. What can I believe? What can I believe? Where is that part of me that's deep inside of me that knows the truth when it's right there in front of me, right there in front of me? What can I believe? What can I believe? So many voices, all those opinions. What can I believe?
If I can't believe my friends,
What can I believe?
if I can't trust my teachers,
What can I believe?
if my parents tell me lies,
What can I believe? I must believe in myself then. What can I believe? I must believe in myself then.
I was living up in Harlem, and I know the biggest thing the most racist thing that I always hear every day is all white people are racist. That was, I mean, it was law. It's law. All white people are racist. I mean, and so for me to say it, and then it worked. Liz said it. That's it. It's there, you know, because it's real. It's real, and you know, you need to know it. You need to know that people actually say these things. People actually feel these things. You know, that's the beauty of the show, because people don't want to accept it. You know, I don't want to believe that people are actually saying this stuff. People are actually saying this stuff.
Daniel asked one of the kids in the audience, why did you laugh when Elon said, I saw this Puerto Rican lady with all these kids, she must be on welfare. And one of the kids in the audience jumped up and said, because it's true.
We told a lot of racist jokes, and you know, people were laughing, and like, in the beginning, like, some of them were really harsh, and I was like, you know, that's not funny, you know.
The first time I turned around and said, we're going to sing now, and they were like, oh yeah, you know, they were like total attitude towards us. If you don't like the music, you're not going to shoot me in the back. And from out of the audience, I heard, you know, like, you know, a person doing that with their mouth, but that was, the intention was like, okay, I can imitate a gun. And I turned back around to the chorus, and they were all like, they were doing the same thing, like, whoa. And there's always somebody in one of the groups of the schools that are the more verbal schools that will come back and try to interact and test us.
I realized that we were all bigots, and I wasn't any different. I mean, I had this thing about young kids. I thought that this generation was totally into material objects, was completely and totally stupid, that they didn't read, they didn't think. And you know what? Through the work, I learned that they were wonderful, and through the work, we all changed. We can change. You can change. The work really showed me that.
riding home on the subways with Dee Dee has changed me. And because since we started doing the show, she lives in Harlem, and I live halfway to Harlem. And, but we take the same train. And we walk home with our shirts every day, and she always wears a sweatshirt with it zipped up, and I always wear mine like this. And it was really hot on the train one day, and I said, why are you covering the thing? And she said, well, I can't wear this T-shirt in my neighborhood. And I didn't know that, and I asked her why, and she said because everyone's really hostile. They come up to her and they say, hey, you're turning against us. What do you mean? Why is black crossed out? And when I go to my neighborhood, everyone's like, that's a cool T-shirt. Where'd you get it? The only prejudice I had before starting the show was, I live in Brooklyn, and in Crown Heights, it's predominantly Jewish area, and I hated driving through Crown Heights because the Jews just walk across the street and act as though they own the streets. And I was telling my mom, why don't you run them over? You know, why are they walking down the streets like they own the streets? And like now, when I came to start doing the show and I met Jewish people, I said, oh, not Jews act as though they own everything. So I stopped trying to hit people when I drive through Crown Heights.
It seems every job I was qualified for, they take one look at me, see a white male, and woo, I'm out of the running. Now, of course, they have to give special consideration to African Americans, Asian Americans, Native Americans, women, Hispanics, Jews, Pacific Islanders, Third Worlders, so on and so forth, etc. You've heard the breakdowns before. See, most employers, they use a 50% share of your grandparents' heritage as your nationality. So, I did a little research. Turns out my 4 grandparents, they break down like this. One was half Icelandic, half Jamaican. One was half Puerto Rican, half Swedish. One was half Navajo, half Australian, and one was half Ukrainian, half Korean. Now, one grandfather was a Nazi, one grandmother was a Buddhist, my father is a Christian minister, my mother's Jewish. I was also born in Kenya, so by birth, I'm a native citizen of Africa, which means when I came to this country, I became a true African American. Now, I don't look any differently, but suddenly everyone wants to hire me. So you see, there's 2 ways we can go with this. We can continue digging for our individuality, forming special interest groups for every division and category, segmenting ourselves into a special interest group of one, or we can emphasize our similarities and our likenesses, finding the common ties that bond us together, forming a special interest group for all people. We call that the human interest group.
You know the guy that teaches us Jewish songs? He sort of reminds me a little of Woody Allen. He makes little jokes which aren't always funny, but I laugh because I can see him sweating. He wants to impress us. A lot of Jews are like that. So he talks about auditions that he goes to and famous people he says he knows. He's what you call a cantor. So, you know, he gets to perform marriage ceremonies, right? He's also what they call liberal. Therefore, he made it real clear from the beginning he didn't learn some African dancing. Well, he decided he'd teach us a few steps of his African dancing. But how can I say this? Personally, between me and you, he was like some kind of drag queen or something, trying to dance like a Queen Latifah. See, this was called for one of those moments where we had to be tolerant, and we'd have lost it completely. But you know, it was different when he had taught us Hebrew. He was so into it. He's hip, you know, so it didn't seem like some kind of weird, off-the-wall, religious kind of stuff. No, it had drive. I mean, you could actually feel our ancestors dancing around with his ancestors. But after a while, I felt sorry I mocked him. I was sorry I didn't reach out to him the way he had reached out for me.
Sorry about the dancing.
Did I say that? Cool.
You have to die, die. You have to die, die. You have to die, die. Yeah, da 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 da.
This is a Bulgarian song with Hebrew words. It means it will come around again. Now you may be wondering what this has to do with us. Well, just keep listening. What you just heard was a Bulgarian Christian melody. Hebrew words, gospel harmonies with a touch of African and Latino rhythms. And no, I forgot, and Japanese and German touches too. Now listen carefully. We know that every group has done something really awful to every other group at some point in this lifetime. And we're not pretending that some miracle is going to save us. But we do, at least us here, have something in common. At least in the harmonies we sing, we all can fit into one chord. We're here, aren't we, guys?
Yes.
That's a beginning.
I'm Deirdre Body Henderson. I'm an actress, a comedian. I'm African American.
I'm Sharon Bart. I'm Jewish. I love music and I love skating. I'm Guinevere Rodriguez. I was born in the Philippines, raised in New York, and I'm an artist.
I'm Joe Herrera. I'm Puerto Rican. I love to act, and I have a deep passion for women.
I'm Matthew Krakauer. I'm 14. I'm a Jew, and I love to draw.
My name's Brent Nichols. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm a fifth-generation Floridian, and I love to write.
My name is Marcus Garabay. I was born and raised in Vienna, Austria. I believe that God is within us, and I love theater.
I'm Victoria Brumisma. I'm Roman Catholic. I love to read, and I like chocolate.
My name is Jeffrey Gontroff. I'm 14, Jewish, and I have a lot of things in me, so basically I'm a mutt.
My name is Daniel Knighton. I'm Russian, I'm Jewish, and I was born in Nebraska.
I'm Johanna Grunheit. I'm 15, I'm Jewish, and I want to fight in the Israeli army.
I'm Anglican, I'm a writer, I'm very outspoken, I'm Miss Kizzy K. Willis.
I'm Shantae Tiffany Watkins. I'm Christian as well as African American, and I attend the High School of Fashion Industries. I'm Danica Cohen. I'm Jewish. I'm a student at the University of Pennsylvania, and I want to be a judge.
My name is Nick Petrone. I'm Italian. I'm a singer and a songwriter, and I love gospel music.
I'm Sophia Antoinette Powell, a 15-year-old student at Brooklyn Tech. I'm Pentecostal Apostolic. I'm Jamaican, and I love to sing.
My name is Milan Quitkin. I'm a performer, I'm a Jew, and I'm a first-generation American.
My name's Amber Malazzo. I'm originally from Vermont, and I'm Irish, Scottish, and Italian.
My name is Derek Rodriguez. I'm Puerto Rican, a Coney Island lifeguard, and currently single.
My name is Sean Randall. I'm a Christian, computer programmer, and piano player.
My name is Kenji Ito. I'm Japanese, born in New York.
I'm Phil Leone, Italian American, husband, father, grandfather.
I was born in Hartford, Connecticut. I'm of Italian and Greek descent. I'm a human being.
We are all the same, in blood and in bone, on the street or alone, with feelings you just can't name. We are all the same. We are all the same, in blood and in bone, on the streets or alone, with feelings you just can't name. We are all the same. Everybody says it's too late.
think the song We're All the Same really means that we are all a human being. We're all made of the same materials. If it's not the same shade and it's not the same color and our hair is not the same and our eyes aren't the same, we're all still made of the same thing inside. We're still blood, we're still bone, and we still have feelings and we still have a heart.
Inevitably, someone at the end of the show will say, "Oh, excuse me, we are not all the same, and I don't appreciate you saying that." But that's not what we're saying. We're saying, if you listen to the words literally, it's in blood and bone, on the streets or alone, because if I'm walking down the street and you're walking down the street, we're the same person. You know, we're all in this thing together.
We're human beings, you know. We have to learn to exist on this world. We get one life on this planet. We got to make the best of it, and that's what it means to me.
I guess I'd like to say to people who are out there is not to hide yourself from your culture or from your religion, not to be ashamed of it, to learn more about it, you know, find out what's there. And because knowing more about yourself, then you start to become aware of other people, and that breaks down the ignorance, that breaks down the racism.
You can come together based on those differences. You don't have to use those differences to be petty or to be hateful or to be threatened. Those differences can be a cause for celebration.
And we're still fighting with one another because of our cultural differences. Embrace it, love it, you know, and then do your own thing, you know, and in spite of it and because of it, be your own person and let them be who they are and love it. That's all I can say. Just love it, you know?
Tune in tomorrow night at 8 for another installment in the Health Chronicles series with